Crypto volatility continues to pick up as the overall fear and greed right now continues to sit at absolute rock bottom. We're sitting at a level of 15 extreme fear, and as a matter of fact, this is the lowest level of confidence, right? Highest level of fear that we have seen in the last several years. You can see here March 10th was the extreme fear at a level of 15. We are right there at a level of 15, and man, you can actually feel it. It seems as though nobody wants to buy cryptocurrency. It seems as though nobody's excited about cryptocurrency, and it seems as though meme coins like Shiba Inu coin and so on will never move. Guys, it's all in our heads. It's all the emotion. We've seen the extreme fear before. We have felt the same thing. And where do we go from there? All-time highs. So yes, we're going to talk about Shiba Inu coin in this video. It's got a lot going on right now, and if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. Now, I'm going to jump into this article in a second here. It's not the most positive about Shiba Inu coin. We're talking about some metrics, we're talking about some burns, and they are not that great at the moment. But me, truly, I believe it's because of the emotion in the market. So we'll talk about that, but I do want to say thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's on the Claybro Clips channel, not the Claybro channel. I'm not able to post on there for another few weeks. We're going to be consistent on both of them moving forward as soon as I'm allowed to be. But YouTube has recently changed their policy. November 17th, that's like 3 days ago, they changed their policy on cryptocurrency, and they're really cracking down. They don't like it, okay? So what is permitted? General discussions. It says educational content, news, and discussions about cryptocurrency, NFTs, and the technology behind them are generally allowed. That is what we're doing here. We're talking about the latest news that is happening with Shiba Inu coin, that is happening with the overall crypto market, and that is happening within specific communities. In no way should you interpret this video or anything I say as advice for you to go do something. I am simply allowing you to know what is happening so that, of course, you can make your own decisions. Yes, I will talk about some of the decisions that I make. Yes, I will offer my input. Yes, my commentary will be heard. But you ultimately need to make your own decision. And I do want to apologize for all of these disclaimers that need to be said. But with YouTube really cracking down, it needs to be obvious, okay? So bear with me in all of that. We're going to make it through. The crackdown on crypto is happening, but we're going to get through because we are simply discussing what is going on in the cryptocurrency space. Now, with that, this article says that it's becoming more difficult to defend Shiba Inu coin's on-chain picture. Not because of a sudden collapse, but rather because of a number of important metrics that show how little effect the project's long-promoted mechanisms actually have, according to CryptoQuant and SHIB. Now, it says no point in burning. I disagree with that aspect, okay? I do believe that there is a point in burning Shiba Inu coin. Now, is there a point in burning $1 worth of Shiba Inu coin, or $10 worth of Shiba Inu coin? No, if that's where it ends, absolutely not. Okay, that's not going to get us anywhere, and we know that. But if we see the contributions, if we can figure out ways to leverage things that people are already doing, to leverage businesses, to leverage marketing, and so on, I believe that we could burn the supply of Shiba Inu coin down. Is it going to be easy? No, absolutely not. All right, we haven't been able to do it in the last 4 years. It's not going to be something that just happens out of nowhere. It's going to need to be intentional. But I do not believe that there's no point in burning. It says the burn system, which was once promoted as a key factor in long-term value, is essentially inert. It says burn activity has been almost non-existent over the last 24 hours, and even during periods of active times, or during active periods, the amount taken out of circulation is minuscule in comparison to SHIB's enormous supply. Burning a few tens of thousands or even a few millions will not change this. Right, like we agree with that. Now, it says exchange data, however, is presenting a completely different picture. A net outflow of about 130 billion SHIB is visible on CryptoQuant's exchange reserves chart. As tokens move from exchanges into private wallets, they are less likely to be sold. Outflows usually indicate accumulation, which would be a bullish signal on most markets. However, momentum goes down. There are two possible explanations for this outflow. Either large holders are simply removing tokens from centralized exchanges for safety during a volatile market, or whales are positioning for a lengthy consolidation phase. It is more realistic to interpret this as a defensive positioning rather than accumulation wave. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay, it's defensive if you fall victim to the fear. Correct. However, I truly believe that these whales and institutions are outside of the emotion. What makes you and I emotional is timing, okay? Timing and I don't want to say scarcity, or let's call it a limit of our funds. You and I, right? We've got a certain income. We've got a certain amount of money saved. We have a fixed amount that we can go in and buy with. And if we start to see that deplete, we get nervous. Our emotions rise. We're on timelines, okay? I highly doubt that I'm going to live forever. And, I've got this idea that one day, I'll be able to retire and this and that. And I'm sure it's the same for everybody out there. So not only are we on essentially fixed incomes, we're essentially on fixed timelines as well. Institutions, they don't care about time and they don't care about money. They can raise money. They can go into debt. They can sell equity. They can borrow seemingly unlimited sums. They live forever. You and I, we want to retire in 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, no matter what it might be, right? We essentially have an end game. They do not. They solely accumulate with the idea that over time, that accumulation is going to lead to wealth creation. So, yes, I agree in a sense that Shiba Inu coin and the rest of the crypto market could be positioning themselves in a defensive manner at the moment, but that's on the retail side, okay? Institutions are an accumulation game. Now, in the meantime, rather than a recovery, SHIB's price indicates indecision. I do agree with that, right? If we're looking at the overall sentiment right now, Bitcoin at 90,000, Ethereum floating around 3,000, Solana around 140, the indecision is stemming from the emotion, okay? Now, normally, indecision takes place in neutral territory. We're in extreme fear right now. People, retail investors specifically, are afraid to buy. They're so afraid that they may make dumb decisions to sell at an absolute bottom. This is the illogical decisions that are made during periods of extreme fear, and it's the same way. Guys, I don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be at its peak, okay? Bitcoin could be trading at $1 million per coin. Everybody jumps in to buy. Shiba Inu coin could be 50,000 points per coin, and people are jumping in to buy because they get the idea that it's going to go up forever. Right now, they've got the idea that it's going to go down forever. So just the same, the emotion it's messing with people's minds and it's messing with people's decisions. So I choose to accumulate. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, okay, this is strictly educational. I use the KCEX exchange. If you guys are interested in using that, you got a link for it down in the description below. I use it for several reasons. Some of the lowest fees in the entire industry. Meme coins are 0% maker, 0% taker on futures. You've got the best selection of crypto that I've seen available in the United States. And of course, you can trade on up to 125x leverage if you want. But like I had to say, that's not a recommendation for you to do anything. It's simply to allow you that this exchange, allow you to know that this exchange exists so that you can make your own decision. You've got links for everything down in the description below. Let me know what you're doing. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.